Hello, good morning, Ali Fintech. My name is Peters and my startup name is Crowdbank. We see there's a lot of problem in how people invest in sub-Saharan Africa and in Middle East. This is majorly due to access to opportunities for firms to harness the power of the crowd through creating micro investment platforms. We see that there is a gap of about $500 billion annually where individuals are left out of the main market. So crowdbank intention is to create an enabling platform where low income earners who are not financially included in the main traditional banking system of Africa and part of the Middle East could invest a very tiny amount and harness consistent profit. So we intend to achieve this objective by partnering with asset management firm and traditional banks who can interface with our platform and manage customers' deposits for agree return and then invest on different asset class. We also plan to roll out massive financial literacy which will drive customer growth and increase our user base for financial inclusion. We see that financial inclusion in Nigeria stands at 46.4% currently, and in the Middle East, where we are interested, is in Jordan, particularly. The financial inclusion rate is 33%. That is not very encouraging. We see that financial literacy is an enabler in driving uptake of financial services. So the market is so huge that to provide financial literacy, we target over 60 million customers in 3 years who can commit upward of 20 to $30 in getting a very quality education and financial advisory for themselves and their family and or for their institution. So and we can do this by partnering with the government where they can include part of our modules in their curriculum in and in their educational system. So we see that by driving the uptake of financial literacy in Nigeria, we can actually drive customers to our platform. This is the main focal point of crowdbank. But for the investment aspect, we see that access to micro investment and micro pension is largely not consumed by users because they do not have sufficient knowledge of how the market works. And when they have this knowledge, the ability to access the market is restricted because users are mostly in rural areas and access management firm and big banks who manage assets are in the cities. So we see that this access management firm do not have a way of connecting to those who are financially excluded from the system. They do not have a way of taking micro investment. So in a very robust partnership, we plan to create a we've already started creating a platform where low income earners can commit upward of between $10 to 50 or $100 and invest in a particular asset after they are financially advised at a very little fee. Then we see that the number of potential customers who need these services are about 69 to 17 million potential customers, and the market has room for growth of about 70% per annum when we can expand into other African countries. We also see opportunities in other business services as card issuance and remittance. Remittance to sub-Saharan Africa stands at $60 billion per annum from America and from Europe. And we see a situation where people who have relatives abroad can invest on their behalf to get consistent return or consistent yield on their investment. And we also see business opportunities in cross-border investments where people who live in other countries can invest in stock market or in government-backed securities in other countries. We see this connection between Middle East and Sub-Saharan Africa, where stock markets are still at infancy, and the development for perfect consistency or for quality return is still underway, where we see Tadawul connecting to many stock exchange in West Africa, Nigerian Stock Exchange connecting to other stock exchange in developing countries where individuals who are financially literate can do cross-border investments. And we plan to achieve this by using enablers like blockchain and hyperledger, where fund transfer can happen real time and investments can happen at close to speed of light. Okay. Moreover, we seek business opportunities in in asset management. Since we are collecting the fund in partnership with bank, we can do optimal portfolio allocation, and asset management firms can enter into contract with us where they can manage part of the fund and then generate return on an agreed rate. Some of them have generated returns of over 200 to 300% over the past few years. One of them is Meristem Capital, and another is Access and Resource Management Pension in Nigeria. We also like to take advantage of services that traditional banks do not actually facilitate: local fund transfer, which banks do not usually encourage in rural areas. We see this as a very big loophole in financial inclusion drive for banks, since we can partner with retail stores via all software enabling platform. We can actually allow users to have access to withdraw their fund using the card we have issued, and then we charge them a little fee. And this market currently is about $8 billion in Nigeria and is untapped. Only First Bank Nigeria Limited is trying to implement agency banking, and the issue they are having is their agents do not have access to liquidity. Meanwhile, when we partner with retail stores, themselves they have high turnover and they can actually access cash from different sources and pay out customers who come looking for cash, instead of isolated agents who are cash strapped maybe intermittently. Then the business has ability to mutate into other forms, such as full communication outlet, and we seek to optimize and grow and expand as we learn on the job. Thank you.